Holy crap, I got totally obsessed with another video game. Oh my god, and now I want to explain it. I want to explain it again to people who don't play games a lot. Now this game is different than the other games I've gotten addicted to because all the previous games I've gotten hooked on have like a very compelling narrative or a very compelling world. So I'm falling in love with a story or a world. This is just some dumbass card game, but it's not a dumbass card game. It's an amazing card game, but it just didn't seem like the kind of thing I would get hooked on, but I heard some people talking about it, and so I tried it. It's called Balatro, and it is so much fun to play, and I kind of want to explain how the game works so that it hopefully makes sense to even people who, God forbid, don't play video games. I'm going to skip over a whole bunch of details, but hopefully I'll give you enough info to get the gist of what I'm talking about here. So at first blush, this just seems like a simple little card game where you're playing with basic poker-like rules. So like a high card or a pair is not worth that much, but then a flush or a full house is worth a lot more. You're not playing against people, but you're just playing to achieve a certain score each round. Basically, there's a blue number and a red number. The blue number is called the chips and the red number is called the multiplier. And those two numbers get multiplied together to get your score. At the end of every round, you go to the store where you can buy different things. Now, the jokers are the main event, but there's other types of cards you can buy. In this particular store, I found a card called Shoot the Moon, which allows me to get extra multiplier values by holding my queens rather than playing the queens. Okay, so now the gameplay is starting to change already. Now I'm thinking more in terms of holding queens rather than playing a great hand. In addition to jokers, there's also various other cards you can pick up at the store. In this example, there's some tarot cards you can pick up, and they let you change the nature of your deck. So in this case, I was able to kind of increment a jack to turn it into a queen. Now I've got slightly more queens in my deck. Now, because I'm holding on to queens, I don't want to play too many cards in my hand, so I get these planet cards that allow me to boost the value of certain hands, and I start boosting the value of a plain old high card so that I can play one card and keep my queens. Then I get the spectral card that allows me to duplicate a joker, and I duplicate that Shoot the Moon joker, so now queens are getting even more valuable. And so I continue manipulating my deck a little bit. I continue to build up the value of high cards. I even start changing some of the queens to steel queens, which give me 1.5 times the multiplier value on top of the Shoot the Moon value. Oh, I should also mention that each round, the score you have to achieve gets higher and higher and higher and higher. And then eventually I win the game with a high ace and a whole bunch of queens in my hand, and it was a really fun round. I kept playing in endless mode, which allows you to just keep going as the numbers get higher and higher and higher and higher. And I did pretty well, even though this wasn't necessarily like an amazing round, but it was still pretty fun just to get my score up into the millions. But the beauty of the game is that there are so many jokers and other kind of fascinating cards and so many cool combinations. I mean, one round, I got so far into the game that my number was too big to fit on the screen, and then you start getting your score in exponential values. Every time you play it, it's a different game. And that's kind of why I got hooked, and I couldn't get unhooked, because it wasn't the kind of thing where you finish the game. I mean, sure, I unlocked all the things that you could unlock, but I still kept wanting to play it. So at some point, I just had to uninstall it from my computer. So I hope you play this game because it's so amazing, and then eventually uninstall it when it destroys your life, and then maybe install it again when you're just bored one day. Anyway, have a good day. Take care.